The confrontational tone of the German chancellor and his new plan for which we are all to pay. It is about pushing the Americans out of Europe and establishing Berlin's complete domination, economic, political, and now also military.
Ein wahrer Verbündeter nimmt seine Verpflichtungen ernst.
No one forced us to depend on the United States. This immaturity was our mistake, but we are leaving that behind. The sooner the better, not by leaving NATO, but by building strong pillars based on our interests. For now, the Americans are not responding to Berlin's provocations, recognizing that Chancellor Merz clearly does not know what he is saying or to whom. The question is to what extent Friedrich's speech was addressed to the domestic market to support his own weakening position by already beating up on the allegedly evil US, and to what extent it was actually directed at Trump or his administration. But it is in Germany's interest to build its power at the expense of the countries in the region, especially Poland, all with the humble consent of Donald Tusk. Especially when we talk about a certain rivalry or the United States detachment from NATO. If we look at ourselves and the role we are to play in all this, to a certain extent, indirectly, we are indeed to finance the development of the German government through various purchases. From our point of view, for Germany, we are simply a kind of Mitteleuropa, or Central Europe under Berlin's domination. The German chancellor's plans are very dangerous for Poland because he wants to not only get rid of American troops from NATO's eastern flank. The Americans did not take over Europe because the Russians or Soviets were a threat there. The Americans took over Europe because Germany wanted to occupy Europe twice, and they wanted to murder a large part of Europe, including us. But the second time around, it all happened more spectacularly, especially the American presence, because it remained. Basically, the American presence on the European continent is based on the fact that the Americans saved Europe from the Germans and later guaranteed that the Germans would not do anything bad again.
Als Europäer und natürlich auch als Deutsche ist es heute. Germany
now wants to take full control over arms purchases by countries in our region. Like most European countries, the German armed forces benefited greatly from this peace dividend, that is, the period of relative calm in Europe that followed the end of the Cold War. As a result, the German armed forces saw significant cuts in their defense budget and consequently the withdrawal of military equipment. So, they needed a financial boost. That is why, instead of state-of-the-art American weapons, German and French arms companies are to be financed.
Merz rości sobie prawo, żeby zdominowana przez
Merz claims the right for a Germany-dominated Europe, taken in hand by Germany, to also become the foundation of relations with the United States. It is Germany that is to build a new formula for transatlantic relations, and so it is Germany that is to become the sole link between Europe and the United States. Germany is to represent Europe in relations with the United States. Nevertheless, it is shocking and important that there is a clearly visible plan to dominate Europe. What he presents is German imperialism, and one of the mechanisms that are supposed to make Germany powerful is precisely the safe mechanism. Germany simply treats Poland and other EU countries as its sphere of influence. They want to build their own potential, and others have to pay for it. Some do not agree to this. Others, like the December 13th coalition, applaud it. Now the SAFE program is on the agenda, but this is just one of many German ideas.
Nie udało mu się podbić Europy Wschodniej przez...
He failed to conquer Eastern Europe through the ETS because even the German economy couldn't withstand it. So Germany is giving up on the ETS, but they have to have something in return. So now they are trying with Mercosur and armaments. On the one hand, they are weakening the United States by all means, with Sikorski and Tusk playing the leading role. On the other hand, they are trying to make other countries dependent on them in the most important sectors of the economy. Germany does not like the fact that today in Europe, the main partner for talks with U.S. President Donald Trump is Polish President Karol Nawrocki. Good relations with the United States are the only guarantee of stability in the region, because putting our security in German hands cannot end well.